I want to tell you a quick story about a moment in my life that completely inspired me and really kind of uplifted me during a difficult time in my life. So I told you guys before, I've made no secret about it. Lots of parts of my childhood were really difficult, like abuse and depression and anxiety and all these things that really troubled me. And I'll never forget this one day. A friend of mine was throwing a party. His name was Will. Will was throwing a party, and I walked into the party and I heard this song that I had never heard before. It was called Rough Riders Anthem by a rapper named DMX. And I listened to the song and it had so much energy and so much passion. And it was just such I can't really explain it. I don't know if you guys are like that. If you've ever heard a piece of music or read a poem that just completely, for whatever reason, just hit you. And that's what this song was. It just hit me. And back then there was no like Google or anything like that. It was in the late 90s, mid 90s. So I went to the store. I went to the CD store the next day, and I bought DMX's album. And I used to listen to DMX's music all the time. And I used to think about, like, this guy had so much passion and so much energy. And at the time, that was the exact opposite of how my life was going. And I remember, like, very overtly, very clearly, like, I want to be like DMX. I want to be just like that. I want to find something in my life that I can be passionate about, that I can be energetic about, that it's something I could transfer that energy into people the way he was doing with music. And it really inspired me. It kind of changed the way that I was thinking about my future. Because instead of thinking about like what job I want to have in the future or whatever, I was thinking about like, where can I find that? And ultimately I found it in psychotherapy and solution-focused brief therapy, and in educating people about solution-focused brief therapy. So my heart kind of broke this past weekend when there was a news report that DMX had overdosed on drugs. DMX has had a difficult life, difficult dealing with addiction, and he overdosed on drugs, had a heart attack, and he's currently on life support with very little brain activity, according to reports. So I tell you that story just to say, just find that thing that inspires you and gives you energy. And let's pray for DMX, the rapper DMX. He's had a really difficult go, and I hope more than anything that he pulls through. I wish I could meet him and tell him that, his music inspired my life. And, inspiration comes from different sources. Like, not everything that inspires me is related to psychotherapy. And when I was 16 years old, I heard a song and I heard an energy from a person that made me think differently about the way I wanted to live my life. So think about the things that inspire you, pray for DMX, and give people patience and grace, because a lot of people are fighting a lot of battles. And I hope DMX pulls through this one.